When all but one child from the same classroom mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. Today we're unraveling the nightmare that is weapons. Directed by Zach Kreger, who is the mind behind Barbarian, which is a movie I really loved. And now in 2025, Kreger is back with a new movie titled Weapons. And all over my timeline on Letterboxd, literally everywhere, people have been saying this film is incredible. And some people have even called this the movie of the year. People have praised this movie non-stop, and I am so excited. But I'm even more excited because I know nothing about this movie, which to me is the best way to experience a film. So of course I had to go see what all the hype is about, and in this video I'm going to bring you to the cinema with me to watch this movie, talk about it, and find out, is this film actually scary, and would I consider this the movie of the year? Okay, that's a little bit better. I just got to the cinema and I am feeling extremely warm actually. It is like the hottest day of the year so far, and I decided to go to the cinema and watch Weapons, and I would not spend my Tuesday any other way. But before I go to the cinema, especially for a video, I always feel like a little bit anxious and overwhelmed, because I think it's like I'm so used to watching movies at home that whenever I get transported into a new setting, my brain goes like, bah! Especially transitioning from it being super sunny to it being super dark, but also trying to keep notes of the things that I see in the movie. Especially this movie is not going to have subtitles because they're shown on Mondays, today's Tuesday, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Just a load of things that kind of make me feel overwhelmed. So whenever I watch a movie in the cinema for a YouTube video specifically, I feel like I don't get like 10 out of 10 enjoyment. I get maybe like 7 out of 10 because I'm thinking of the video, blah blah, all that sort of stuff. But today I'm going to try my absolute best to just lock in on the movie, enjoy it, because I've been looking forward to this movie for ages, and the fact that people have been talking about it, saying that it's unreal, but I also don't want to have really high expectations and then not have the movie live up to those expectations. I'm just going in excited. I really enjoyed Barbarian. I watched with my friend and my girlfriend, and it's a really fond memory that I have. But I'm going to stop yapping. I feel like I introduced the movie in the intro of this video. Let's go watch Weapons and talk about it after the movie. I am so warm. If you've been watching for a little while, I got a little holder for the car for the phone, but also a little fisheye lens. So let me know if you think it's cool or is it just corny. I don't know. Let's go watch Weapons. Same t-shirt, different day. I am here to talk about Weapons, and I enjoy that so much. What I really loved about Weapons, I'm getting straight into it, is how this movie just gets the balance so right in terms of having fun, doing something different, but also maintaining the horror and also maintaining an incredible and a very solid story. That was so refreshing. I feel like I haven't watched a horror movie or a thriller movie or whatever as refreshing as Weapons in a very long time. This movie is basically Barbarian, but enhanced. I found it very interesting looking at Weapons and being like, oh, they did this in Barbarian, but enhanced it. And I just love watching a director just grow. And if you loved Barbarian, or even if you just enjoyed it, you will definitely love Weapons. What I found extremely refreshing is how this story is told. We get to see multiple perspectives. The story itself is relatively simple. A load of kids go missing except one. What is the mystery? Where are the kids? Blah blah. But I love that they just didn't tell the story A, B, C. There you go. That's the entire story. We were given multiple perspectives. I love whenever we get a new perspective, we're able to recontextualize certain scenes and parts of a movie. And I just love that because it really plays with our brain. And I feel like it really makes us kind of like work to put the story together, to piece the mystery together. And I love that because I feel like in horror movies, especially, the storytelling and just the structure of movies is just like usually relatively simple. But this movie makes you kind of work for it. It just engages your brain. And I found that so refreshing and so fun, and I just haven't watched anything like that recently in the horror genre, so I really appreciated it. And again, it just felt like a massive breath of fresh air, which is always welcomed by me. Weapons is also able to find a perfect balance between humor and horror, because there are scenes in this that, one, Okay, let's talk about the horror. It is not predictable. Usually, in horror movies, you just know when a jump scare is coming. But here, you're creeping up to someone and you're just half expecting, you're like, okay, they're going to turn around, they're just going to go like, bah! And that's us, terrified, blah, blah, blah. This movie subverts your expectations. And again, I love when a director understands horror. They know the cliches and they know how overdone they are. And they're able to subvert your expectations. The horror in this movie definitely worked because a lot of people around me, including myself, definitely jumped at parts of this movie. And it's just done so well. But that horror is contrasted with funny moments. Like, there were moments in this movie where people all around me were crying, laughing because something is just so like over the top. But it's just that great balance between something being terrifying and being quite funny that makes this movie such an enjoyable experience and such an enjoyable movie watching experience in the cinema. I'm so glad I got to see this on the big screen because towards the end of the movie, some things are just so insane that I was like laughing my ass off. But it's just, I don't know, it works. It works so well. I feel like I need to rewatch this movie because there were some things that just didn't really make sense. And at times this movie was definitely a little bit predictable, but I'm fine with that because everything else made up for it. And I just had such a good time. This also reminded me of the story by Murakami called Kafka on the Shore, where a load of kids disappear from a classroom. I was like, maybe it's a reference, maybe it's not. I don't really know, but it made me think of that book. I guess a way to describe this movie is kind of like magical realism, because this movie jumps so seamlessly between dreams and reality. And this, again, I keep repeating myself, the director just gets it. It works. It works. Overall, Weapons is just a great film, a really fun, refreshing movie. I feel like if you go into this, just let the movie take over. Don't take the movie extremely seriously. If some things are a bit weird, let them happen. Embrace the movie, and I think you'll have a really fun time with Weapons, because I did, and I'm looking forward to rewatching this. I might watch Barbarian and then watch Weapons again. Also, the cinematography in this movie made me feel like, you know that Scorsese photo, this is cinema. That's literally how I felt. Some shots, especially one of the first shots in the movie, we kind of like see the camera pan between two people, but this person got to disappear. Oh, if you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. The cinematography looked beautiful. This movie sounded great. The performances were incredible. Don't get me started. I could talk about this movie for ages, but I won't do that. Go watch Weapons and tell me what you think about the movie, because I am very curious. I want to know what you thought about Weapons. Please let me know. But also, can you tell me, does this fisheye thing work, or does it look stupid? I don't really know. I kind of like it, but maybe just for parts of a video, not for the entire thing. I don't really know, but that's everything I have to say. Go watch Weapons. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Weird. I feel exposed, like you can see my legs and like the dirty parts of my room. Maybe that's the bad thing about fisheye. Anyway, bye-bye.